We've leaned on our defenses while our offenses with new personnel got their feet under them, and so that was definitely the case this year for Maryland. But this attack line has certainly blossomed lately. Eric Spanos, Braden Erkstra, and Daniel Kelly.
Yeah, they're one of the best attack lines nationally, and a positionless offense for Maryland.
And here's the midfielder, Bryce Ford, the Fairfield transfer, controlling. And now the Terrapins have Rutgers hung up. It's Spanos, the 6'5" attackman at X. Goes topside, shoots, and finds the posts. And the Terrapins get a fresh 60.
And Dom, that's a big missed ground ball by Rutgers, a tough situation.
Along the goal line, and there's the opening tally. Daniel Kelly gets it done.
And Dom, Maryland will make you pay when you give them extra opportunities. Now, this was a difficult ground ball for Rutgers to get off the rebound, but Maryland gets it a little bit unsettled. And Kelly one-times it in.
Yeah, still looking for their first success on offense. 4 shots, only 1 on target against McNaney. At the point, here's Cardilla. Scher for the shot. It doesn't get through from Summer. And Colin Zeller, the sophomore midi, will reset. A couple already that are knocked down before cage.
And Colin Cardilla, he's one of the knowns for Rutgers, gets a short stick. You see how quick?
Zeller, hands free, and a goal.
And Colin Zeller, 50 in black, gets the party started for the Scarlet Knights. He's got a short stick matchup, rolls back, and then goes back again and lets it fly with his strong left hand, and it's 1-1.
For this Rutgers offense to be successful, everybody needs to chip in, and that's a good sign to see Zeller collect his 8th goal of the year. A confident dodge, too. Confident move to shake off the shorty.
Absolutely, and he gets...
Late in the timer, Erksa throwing over the top for Ford and missed him.
And Dom, they were sliding, recovering really well, sliding to the back of the helmet for Maryland, forcing them to get rid of it and contesting their opportunities and just making those windows super small.
This has been a highly efficient Maryland offense. Not yet today, just 1 for 8. And an opportunity for the Scarlet Knights to get their first lead of the evening. A lot behind this game for the Scarlet Knights. Of course, the ability to get to 2-1 in Big Ten play, grab their first win as conference foes against Maryland, but on their home turf on a blackout night, it adds an extra level of intensity for this team.
Absolutely.
Richmond, it squeaks in! We know Duke Richmond for his dodging, not his finishing. Don't tell him that. Rutgers leads.
And Duke Richmond comes off a pick, gets a step, gets his hands free, middle of the field.
And you can see as soon as he takes on the defender, there's no chance. A guy who's basically his entire family ran track. Mom, dad, aunt all ran track in the SEC too. So a high level of college track and field, and he's got that burst ability in him. And use that to collect his first ever Big Ten goal. And after the Pilato wins the faceoff, Rutgers right back on offense.
And we've seen flashes of Richmond in the past, but now he's starting to put it together like a lot of these young players. And now you see the faceoff. You score a goal, you win the faceoff, you stack possessions.
Now what a weapon Matt Pilato has been. 61% at the dot, second best in the Big Ten. Kelly, jab, step, and score. Man, that guy throws howitzers at cages.
And Colin Kelly, 2 in black. He has been big for the Scarlet Knights. One of the most dangerous shots in the Big Ten. When he gets downhill like this and he puts it on cage opposite. Yeah, the Big Ten, one of the most competitive leagues in college lacrosse. Depending on the year, the best conference in college lacrosse.
Certainly staking its claim to that moniker again this year. About a 40-second difference between the shot and game clock, with the timer now at 30. And here's Summer. Feeds the middle, and Zeller dunks it home. These Scarlet Knights are playing with some energy tonight.
And Zeller, tremendous off-ball movement, but it's Summer with his head up, precision passing, and Zeller finds the back of the net. Hayden Summer, number 3 in black, he had that big game against Hopkins where he really asserted himself as an initiator. His strength is passing the ball, and he shows that off right there. So he's becoming super dynamic as you see the great finish.
Maryland scored the opening goal. Daniel Kelly put it past Stoller less than 5 minutes in. Since then, it's been all Rutgers.
And Rutgers will hold for the final shot here.
And it's Mongillo against Eric Kohler. Waits for the 15-second mark and goes. Mongillo couldn't get an opening, and Rutgers will keep it with 5 seconds.
And this is big, Dom, because you keep the ball away from Maryland, end of the quarter. Now you have a chance to face it off with Matt Pilato and dominate possessions even more.
Cardilla in the final moments with Schaller in front of him. Bouncing ball is in! Rutgers finishes a dominant first quarter with an exclamation mark from Colin Cardilla.
And Colin Cardilla gets to the middle of the field, no support from Maryland.
Flick turf tonight, and that's shown up a few times. "11 shots, just 1 goal so far for Maryland. That is a percentage, a ratio that we have not seen from them at all this year. Eric Spanos trying to change it, but missed his mark.
And Maryland hasn't scored a ton of goals this season, if you look at the rankings of nationally, but they are as dangerous in offense as you can get in college lacrosse. So credit the Rutgers defense for how they've played tonight so far.
Yeah, it's complementary lacrosse, as we've heard some Terps refer to it. Now, this defense that ranks 2nd in the nation has made the offense stand up as enough. Another hung up opportunity. Ford passes. Did it cross the goal line? Yes, it did. And that is a big one for the Maryland Terrapins. Zach Whittier providing the ice-breaking goal.
And he finds Whittier, and he beats Stoller, and
so they'll get back to 6-on-6.
And great job by Rutgers with the penalty kill.
15 to shoot for Urksa as Maryland tries to get on a run. Great first step by Ford, but Stoller denies him. Boy, he's seen the ball great in this first half.
Carden Stoller standing on his head. And the Scarlet Knights needed that one as Maryland had a very high-quality scoring opportunity there.
Rutgers keeping Maryland out of cage, but this has been one long defensive possession. Going on, what, 3 minutes now? And third tries the charm. Braden Urksa scores. Maryland back within 2.
And Urksa 10 in red. One of the most dynamic players you'll see. He's got a short stick matchup in Machika, gets underneath. Support isn't in time, and he finishes. We hold the opposing team to 1 less goal than your offense scores, so whatever it takes is the mindset for Rutgers tonight defensively.
Yeah, simple as that, right?
Whatever it takes. If it's 1-0, it's 1-0. If it's 5-3, it's 5-3. That's the mindset of this defense.
Now, the defenses are winning the night tonight, that's for sure. On a rainy, cool evening in Piscataway. 2 teams at 1-1 in the Big Ten, but a lot more than just a winning conference record on the line between Rutgers and number 2 Maryland. As we near the final 2 minutes of this third quarter, Colin Cardilla comes off the screen, and Will Schaller tracks him the whole way. Here's Hayden Summer looking for the middle. The pass works out, and it's scored! J.J. Aiello was not the intended target, but he'll take it.
And the freshman, J.J. Aiello, Agent Zero, Summer comes off the pick with the feed. And Aiello, right place, right time. He delivers for the Scarlet Knights. Big time play by the freshman Aiello. His development's been huge. High school career as a midfielder, has gotten comfortable as an attackman, and no goal bigger than that one right there for 0.
It's Rutgers' first goal in 28 minutes, and it comes from J.J. Aiello, the second of his Big Ten career. Now a clean win for Carrier. Shares for Spanos, and there's the answer. Big number 7 is on the board for Maryland. What a response.
And Spanos, 7 in red. Fast break off the face-off for Maryland. Face dodge, gets to a dangerous spot. He buries it. Contact, but Rutgers on the other end of that call.
And now Maryland can hold for the final chance of the third quarter. And Jack Schultz, the former New Jersey Player of the Year from Ridgewood High School, settles it down.
Schultz, outstanding at Ridgewood. Player of the Year, as you mentioned. Tremendous career for Coach Mike Pounds, one of the best in the business over at Ridgewood High School.
Spanos does that goal a moment ago get him going. Mendyke jars it free, but Aiken corrals it again. 20 seconds. Schultz bullying his way in. Pass for Urksa that squeaks over the line. Maryland is back within 1.
And the Terps climb within 1 in this game. And Urksa comes from behind the cage. Schultz draws the attention. And Urksa up the hash mark, one of the top nationally. But the situations that Rutgers has been in defensively that they've gotten out of has been really impressive.
Yeah, like the one you just saw, where Rutgers had some offensive personnel stuck on the field and still came out of it unscathed. Protecting a 6-5 lead that has held up for the entirety of this fourth quarter. Another long stretch without scoring. Braden Urksa made it 6-5 Rutgers, cut it to a 1-goal deficit with 16 seconds left in the third. We have not seen somebody hit the back of the net since. And Rutgers with the ball out of the timeout.
This is like old school college lacrosse. Keep it in, no shot clock.
Bouncing shot, and Colin Zeller slots it home. Insurance for the Scarlet Knights.
And Zeller has been big time tonight. The Philly kid from the Haverford School delivers for the Scarlet Knights, and it's the passing ability of Summer. Precision. Scarlet Knights up 2, and you see the pass.
This is the game of the weekend right now, with the fact that the number 2 team in the country and the best team in the Big Ten is in trouble.
And the Scarlet Knights have earned it, and this is a team, non-conference play, really, for their standards, really disappointing with losses to UMass, St. Joe's, Stony Brook. A young team, but these guys have showed up, and they're 3 minutes away, 3 minutes 20 seconds from the biggest win that Rutgers has had.
Yeah, it would be one of the biggest in the program's more than century-long history, but as you've noted, Alex, we're still a long way away. 3:20 to go. Rutgers leading 7-5. It's already failed 3 clears tonight, and Maryland had time to talk it over there. That was a Maryland timeout.
Maryland's in a 10-man ride, so they're going to try to.
Stoller looking across the field and scores! Cardin Stoller dropped the mic.
And Maryland in a 10-man ride, and Stoller throws a touchdown pass for the potential.
Interest early and consistently. He said Rutgers just felt like home, even though it was a few states away. Year 3 for him at Rutgers. He's put together one of the best performances of his career. 13 saves, just 5 goals allowed, and the goal that could decide this thing, the icing on the cake.
And Cardin Stoller from the great state of Maryland, but boys Latin school, to Rutgers, not a typical Not a typical destination, so credit Coach Brecht and his coaching staff for really putting on the clamps on his recruiting process and getting him to Rutgers, because he is special.
All right, Maryland the ball, but they need 3 goals in a flash. The Terrapins have not scored in this 4th quarter. Grinding towards Cage, there's Matthew Keegan bouncing it wide. Spanos gets one back. And with 1:06 to play, we're not done yet.
And this is where the face-off is going to be huge, Dom. Matt Pilato has been around 50% tonight. So can he get the big